I got kicked out of the tractor. Got a guy helping me today. While he's working dirt, I'm gonna go do some spraying. Well, for being the second day out with this thing and having it dialed in, got about 160 acres sprayed today, so not a bad day. It's about 7 o'clock now. I think I'm gonna go and take over the tillage tractor and leave this here for the night, or leave the sprayer here, drive the semi in, load it up with water and chemical, and in the afternoon tomorrow, probably start spraying again. All right, so I just got a shower because I got doused in chemical. It's my own fault. Didn't have a line, didn't have a coupler together quite like it should have been, and I fired up a pump and I got doused. So I took a shower. I'm gonna head to bed for about 4 hours. I've got to be at work at UPS at 3 in the morning, but I farm a field right next to it that's fairly dry. So he's gonna keep working dirt until about midnight, and then I'm gonna set my alarm for midnight. It's about 9 o'clock now, so I'm gonna get about 2.5 hours of sleep, and then take his place, finish the field he's in, and then run up there to that field, get started on it, and then probably drive the tractor to work because it's only 5 minutes away. So that's the game plan for the morning, and then go from there. So might possibly poke the planter out of the shed tomorrow. Not sure yet. Good morning. It's about 11:45 right now, and I'm gonna go catch a ride on that tractor. All right, I'm fairly sure you guys can't see me, but this is I'm gonna try and stay awake for the next 24 hours face. Let's go. Send her down. Another 100 acres done. Gonna head to the farm, grab some fuel, put some grease in this thing, and head to the next farm. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't very, very tired right now. Saying goodbye to the farm for a little while. Off to the next one. This ground is working fairly decent, but it's rougher than all get out here. I'm working straight with these corn stalks, but I chisel plowed about that angle right there last year, so I'm going at those chisel plow marks diagonally, and it's beating the heck out of me in this tractor. Working up pretty decent back there, but it's kind of hard to see. I didn't get the LED lights on this thing yet. Spring got here a lot quicker than what I thought. It is still really early for us, but I don't know, with the weather we're having, I really don't want to miss an opportunity and turn off wet. I may be jumping the gun, I don't know, but at the same time, this is going in beans. I'm gonna plant a lot of early beans before I plant any corn this year. They just handle the cooler, wetter temperatures, and I don't know, they seem to do a lot better under stress than corn does. So getting some early beans in, and then I'll switch to corn probably mid-April to early May, hopefully under ideal conditions. But We'll see. You can see out here, it's really starting to green up. I'm trying to get ahead of these weeds a little bit, knock them down with this before they're too bad. Trying to get by without spraying this spring, and hopefully not have to spray it until the beans are just starting to come through. But I don't know, they'll probably get sprayed before the beans are up, but just trying to get ahead of them a little bit. It's easier to kill stuff when it's small than it is when it gets taller and really gets a root to it. So trying to knock some stuff out. Just about got this field done. Well, there's this entire farm. It's about 120 acres up here, and it's pretty split up into a lot of different patches. There's an interstate that splits it, and a creek, and then a couple ditches that cut through going into the creek. So there's a little bit here, there, and everywhere on this farm. Good morning. My phone died last night, so I didn't have any recording device, but got about 45 more acres worked last night, got to work this morning. It's about 10 o'clock now. I'm just greasing stuff, checking oil, getting things ready to go. I'm gonna go spray about 60 acres this morning. I've burned down. We've got a guy coming to work ground again. He's gonna start working on some corn ground. And then probably by this afternoon, I plan on having that in the field. So got about 350 acres that's either worked or burnt down right now, ready to go into beans. So over the next couple days, I'm gonna spend a lot of time in that tractor getting things planted. Well, we're gonna get with it today. He's going to get some fuel, and he's taking off up there. And I'm gonna unfold this. I gotta change my gear ratios to run. I'm gonna run about 150,000 population. It's set for about 180 now. So I'm gonna set it for 150. It's set to go about 1.5 inches deep right now. I'm gonna pick that up to about 1 inch. And then get my spraying done and probably take this to the field. But I wanna go ahead and have it ready for when I do. Real quickly here, I was going to show you guys what I did to change the population. That's a 19 tooth, that's a 27 tooth. Those two together set this thing for 150,000. It's not a fancy planter where I can change my population from the cab. I'm still doing it the old school way, but it takes about 2 seconds to do it. So throw the chain back on. I'm going to lube all the chains, grease the planter, and probably fill this thing up. So since I'm at the farm now, I want to show you guys how I mix this thing. This valve here runs this. That's a 3-section shutoff for different sections on the boom. See, it doesn't have any pressure right now because I'm routing all my water through my pump down this line and through here. That goes back up into the tank. And this here is my mixing tank. So this here is my mixing tank. You can see water coming out right here. It just rinses down into that. You dump your chemical in here, it puts it in the tank, it starts to spin it around, agitate it, keep everything mixed correctly. So that's really all there is to spraying. Right now, I'm running Buccaneer 5, which is just a generic Roundup, and then 2,4-D as well. Running about 1.5 quarts of Roundup and about 12.5 so right now I'm running Buccaneer 5 I'm running about 25 gallons worth of Buccaneer 5 in the tank, which is 1.5 quarts an acre, and then running 12.5 gallon of 2,4-D. So really it's working out pretty good. You know, there's 1,000 gallon in that tank, so you know, 12 and 25, there's a very, very low percentage of chemical that's actually in there. I'm not running any residual right now because I'm just burning these weeds down. This ground's gonna get worked, so there's really no point in putting a residual down with it. But I'm just trying to burn the weeds off on some lower ground that I know is too wet to work right now, and kind of get a head start on getting them knocked down, getting them killed. It only cost me about $6 an acre to run this program I'm running with these generics, so it's no big deal to go knock some weeds down for $6 an acre. So here you can see I'm just dumping chemical in. It's foaming up. I've dumped a bunch in here in a short amount of time, including my jug, so that's covered in Roundup now. But yes, I should probably be wearing gloves. No, I'm not, but here's what it is. Kind of in a hurry right now, so this is what I do when I mix chemical in the sprayer. All right, so that's the last of that dumped in here. I'll shut my water off now. Let this suck down and get dry. Then I'll kick that back on, kind of rinse everything out, shut it, make sure to close that valve. If you don't close that valve, I found out the hard way that as soon as you flip that, you will start launching chemical. You'll fill this tank and start launching everything right back out. So I found that out the hard way. Just kick this on, rinse the rest of that out. Is that good? Hear it sucking down there. Shut that valve. Close that. And we are ready to go. About 65 acres in there mixed. This creek bottom down here is a lot drier than what I thought it was going to be. Honestly, if I'd have known it was this dry, I probably wouldn't have come down here and sprayed it. Might have just worked it. It might be a week or so before I get down here, so it might be a good thing I am spraying it, and it won't hurt to knock the weeds back. So I'd rather be planting right now, but I need to get some spraying done. I like spraying down here because it's nice and flat, nice and smooth, cruising along about 7 miles an hour. As gentle as can be down here. There is a lot of driftwood down here that I need to get picked up, and over there, what was in corn last year, I've got a bunch of piles of corn stalks I need to set on fire too, but other than that, it's easy going down here. You could say that the water table is still a little bit high. I don't like doing this, but it's the only way in and out of that field. Washes the tires off, I guess. Put the cat drug in. Apparently we're getting more fertilizer today. That tank's full, and that tank's empty. So, I'm gonna try and keep those full while I'm working close to home. I'm gonna go ahead and kick the garden hose on. And while I go plant my first fill up or so, this thing can fill up. Time management. Trying to be good at it. Also trying to be good at climbing around with one hand and recording with the other. I'm not gonna lie, that wagon's got 5 boxes of beans in it right now, and that's quite the little load for a half-ton pickup. Well, I have some bad news. I'm not gonna be doing any planting for at least about 6 days. I had a pretty major breakdown. I was unfolding the planter, turned on the monitor. I hadn't even filled it up yet. I was unfolding the planter, heard a very, very loud pop, sounded like a shotgun go off, turned around, had a bent row unit and a cylinder that sheared in half. You can see that cylinder right there, just sheared clean off. I've already taken this pin out, but that pin had gotten bent in there. And when that pin got bent, it was holding this cylinder crooked instead of being totally straight. And I hadn't noticed that. Well, what it did was it rotated this planter too far and got it in a bind. So when I went to set it down, it sets in these saddles here. Well, as you can see, it was really in a bind, and that's the pop that I heard. It snapped that right off, not only on that side, but it sheared off on that side too. So that being in a bind, when I went to set it, you can see that set straight in here. And what goes in there is there's a pin that goes on this, which I've taken those off. They're bent too. And the other thing that it bent is it got that row unit. That row unit sets right between these two beams, and when it went down, it caught the frame and it bent it really good. So I can't get parts until Thursday. No dealerships have that cylinder right now, so they have to order it from Kinsey, which it is what it is, but that's part of farming. But you can see all that ground is worked. That's worked. That field north of the farm is worked. Clear up to the water tower there is burnt down, dry, and ready to plant. The beans are in the wagon. I even had the auger out. I mean, I was ready to fill this planter and get with it. Got about 400 acres that's ready to plant right now, and now I have no planter. So it is what it is. That's farming, but I don't know. I guess now I will take the tractor and sprayer, and really the only thing I can do now, I've got 2 fields that need some ditches touched up on, and I still have roughly 450 acres of burn down to spray. So probably spray that and wait on parts for the planter. And once I get that thing fixed up and get the right weather, it's just going to be nonstop running that planter until I get done. So on this note, a little bit of a bad note, but on this note, I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoy, kind of seeing everything running. The sprayer is a learning experience for me. It's the first year I've done this on my own. First year we've ever done any of our own spraying. So that's a learning curve for me, but got that dialed in and working pretty good. And other than that, just working dirt, and love to be planting. But guys, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. You guys help me out big time when you do that. So if you enjoy the videos, just stay tuned for more. Thank you.